Do you want to live the best life possible? Have you ever stopped and wondered what you are doing in this life? We are in an endless race to achieve the best things. Sometimes we forget the true value of happiness. Take a moment, think deeply, breathe, and look back at the path you are walking on. Sometimes happiness lies in simplicity. The secret of life is not in what we try to collect, but in what we dare to leave behind. In this world full of noise, seeking true happiness every day is even more difficult. We struggle with endless desires and needs, but ask yourself, does collecting more give meaning to your life? Otherwise, this will lead you into a cycle of fear and anxiety. I invite you to begin a meaningful journey with the philosophy of fortitude, a journey to understand your soul, where you will learn to embrace silence. Remove 5 unnecessary and destructive things from your life. This is not just a lesson in minimalism, but also a lesson in deeper aspects of your inner heart, where you will find freedom, peace, and true happiness. Life does not escape the outer radiance, but is fixed within you. Before we begin, I have a small question. Number 1. Do you promise to watch the video until the end and do nothing? Don't miss anything in this lesson, because only one lesson out of 5 can radically change your life. Living life to the fullest by eliminating unnecessary things begins with superfluous objectives. Setting a lot of goals that might not really support our well-being or be consistent with our basic principles is simple in a world where we are always being pushed to do more. These pointless objectives may result in tension, exhaustion, and a feeling of unfulfillment. To live a balanced and fulfilling life, it is essential to acknowledge and get rid of these objectives by concentrating on the things that really matter. We may refocus our efforts on activities that actually make us happy and satisfied in order to live a more purposeful life. This class will explore the idea of needless ambitions, including why they develop and how to recognize and eliminate them. Determine your core principles and recognize your values. Give your basic beliefs some thought as well as the things that are most important to you. Setting and achieving goals that are consistent with your values will guarantee that they enhance your general well-being. Evaluate present objectives and consider whether your current objectives align with your values. Any that don't align can be thrown away or adjusted. Establish priorities, set high priorities for meaningful goals, and pay attention to the objectives that will have the biggest influence on your life. Setting these as your top priorities will assist you in avoiding overcommitment. Limit the number of goals, focus on a few important goals rather than having a lot of them. This raises your chances of success and enables you to put forth your best effort. Assess external pressures and determine which goals were set as a result of peer, family, or societal pressure. These frequently turn out to be pointless and disappointing. Seek intrinsic motivation and pay attention to objectives that are fueled by passions and inner aspirations. Achieving goals driven by intrinsic motivation is more fulfilling and long-lasting. Put mindfulness into practice to remain aware. Practice mindfulness to maintain awareness of your needs and present state of mind. This knowledge enables you to periodically review your objectives to make sure they are still pertinent and essential. Reduce tension by focusing on the here and now, and by engaging in mindfulness practices, you can lessen the tension that comes with pursuing several goals. Accept adaptability, adapt and adjust your goals as your circumstances in life change. Be willing to change your mind or give up on objectives that are no longer necessary. Learn to let go. Giving up on unimportant aspirations makes room in your mind and heart for more significant and rewarding endeavors. You can live a more focused, balanced, and contented life by recognizing and getting rid of pointless ambitions. In contemporary society, achieving greater wealth, rising in status, and compiling a long list of accomplishments are often associated with success. However, Stoicism challenges us to re-evaluate this viewpoint. Do these objectives actually represent your preferences, or are you just accepting them as part of an external definition of success? A well-known Stoic philosopher reminds us that the poor man is not the one who has too little but rather the one who desires more. This viewpoint questions the idea that success is determined by an individual's circumstances. Rather, it places an emphasis on virtue and personal growth as well as serving the greater good. Eliminating pointless objectives necessitates extreme self-control to separate what is actually vital from what is not. This process is not about depriving oneself of joy or ambition, but rather about directing our efforts in accordance with our core values. When we act with courage, virtue, justice, and moderation, we lead a meaningful life. Being clear about our goals ensures that our energy is not diverted but rather directed toward worthwhile endeavors that improve the lives of those around us. One of the profound benefits of doing away with pointless goals is liberating oneself from the ceaseless desires that most people have. Seneca saw and understood that by concentrating on what we can control with regard to our thoughts, actions, and reactions, true happiness is to be found in the current moment. Without worrying about the future, we discover contentment in the here and now because we have shifted our focus from obtaining outward accomplishments to developing internal virtue. This shift has given us a sense of serenity and contentment that is resistant to disruption from life's ups and downs. A rich life is not just one that is filled with material abundance, but rather one that is filled with experiences, relationships, and work that are in line with your true essence. Setting boundaries, saying no to distractions, and saying yes to yourself are essential tasks as you embark on this journey. The path to eliminating unnecessary goals begins with a simple question: what truly matters to me? The answer lies in quiet reflection. Number 2. How we manage our interpersonal connections. Do you believe that having relationships and knowing more people makes you a better person? Lesson 2 offers a contradictory lesson that indicates you should eliminate unhealthy relationship management techniques. This plays a critical part in helping us become more self-aware and mindful of our relationships. The benefits of doing so can drastically improve our lives, encouraging sincere and enduring relationships. This begins with lowering our standards for other people. Rather than expecting them to fully comprehend and satisfy all of our demands, we should learn to accept their flaws and talents, making room for deep understanding and genuine bonding. Eliminating reliance on other people to make you happy is another essential step. Happiness should come from within and be reflected in the way we choose to respond to the outside world. By developing emotional independence, we may express ourselves more freely and grow more resilient in the face of adversity. As a result, relationships get stronger and more durable. By practicing removing negativity and meaningless fights, instead of allowing unpleasant feelings to rule our interactions, we should be in charge of how we respond to challenging circumstances. Acquiring the skill of approaching any circumstance with composure and focus creates room for understanding, empathy, and constructive conflict resolution. In summary, practicing selective relationship management not only assists us in eliminating detrimental elements but also motivates us to pursue and cultivate more meaningful connections. If you agree with our perspective, please leave a comment below this video stating that meaningful relationships are ones in which both parties feel appreciated, supported, and challenged to grow and become better. Our relationships are the foundation of our life. They affect our happiness, prosperity, and general well-being. The quality of our social interactions and our emotional well-being can be greatly impacted by the way we manage our relationships. The rules we follow when handling relationships, whether they be friendships, family ties, or business ties, are vital. In contrast, neglect and poor communication can result in misunderstandings and confrontations. Instead, a proactive, considerate, and sympathetic attitude can build relationships and foster a supportive network. The key is communication. Clear and open communication ensures that you keep the lines of communication open. Be explicit about your expectations, feelings, and thoughts. Active listening involves listening to the other person without interjecting. Be understanding and empathetic. Nonverbal indications such as tone of voice, eye contact, and body language can indicate more than just words. Express gratitude and appreciation. Consistently express your gratitude for the people in your life and their efforts. Small gestures of gratitude and goodwill can deepen relationships. Honor accomplishments and revel in the successes of others, no matter how minor. Establish healthy boundaries and respect personal space. Recognize and honor other people's personal limits. Assertive communication involves expressing your wants and boundaries in a straightforward, non-aggressive manner. Mutual respect creates an atmosphere in which both people are valued and at ease. Exercise compassion and comprehension by placing yourself in their shoes and making an effort to understand circumstances from their point of view. Provide support by being there for people when they need you, lending a sympathetic ear or a helping hand. Recognize that everyone makes errors, then move on by forgiving others to keep the peace. Learn to forgive. Put in the time and work. Quality time involves engaging in activities that deepen your relationship while spending quality time together. Consistency establishes trust and dependability with the people in your life by being present regularly. Constant work is required. Maintaining a relationship takes constant work and care. Make a consistent effort to care for them. The durability and quality of our relationships can be determined by how we manage them. We may build solid, encouraging, and satisfying relationships by putting communication first, expressing gratitude, establishing limits, exercising empathy, and devoting time and energy. These ideas improve our relationships and help us live a more peaceful, interconnected life. Number 3. Conscious use of social media. In the 21st century, social media is booming and information is disseminated quickly. Each of us becomes an artist using strokes and colors to paint a vibrant picture of our lives. This is a space where every moment and every experience is shared to create a multicolored canvas reflecting the diversity of humanity. But social media is also a stage for endless comparison games, where people frequently put their lives on a scale against others. This leads to a phenomenon that is a race without a finish line. Instead of being stuck, deliberately change it from a source of distraction and unhappiness into a fulfilling and good way of life. We can choose a different route when we fall into the comparison trap, where every flawless social media picture becomes an unrealistic standard for our own lives. For instance, when you see a friend posting about their ideal vacation, use it as inspiration to plan for your own goals and aspirations rather than feeling inadequate or lacking. Keep in mind that happiness is not a measurable concept. In order to reduce distraction and exhaustion, learn to cut out useless information. By consuming content carefully, we can feed our spirits with uplifting and important messages, similar to how we nourish our bodies with wholesome food. Ultimately, Stoicism serves as a reminder that time is the most precious resource. Picture a day when you spend that time reading books instead of mindlessly scrolling through computers. It's a change from passive consumption to active production, from living digitally to experiencing real life, from seeking external validation to discovering inner contentment, whether it's picking up a new talent or spending quality time with loved ones. Number 4. Dealing with people who hurt you. We frequently run into people who hurt us. Sometimes it's because intimate friends have betrayed us by turning their backs, envy among co-workers, or even family members' treachery. The question is, how can we deal with individuals who hurt us? Philosophy, with its Stoic spirit and pursuit of inner peace, provides us with a great lesson in how to deal with this. We learn that the best way to handle this is to understand and regulate our own reactions rather than taking revenge or holding on to resentment. Imagine waking up one day to find that you've been the topic of unpleasant conversations because a close friend revealed some of your most private details to others. It's difficult to avoid feeling betrayed, hurt, and lost in such a circumstance. By practicing Stoicism, you can find a sensible solution to the problem as well as healthy ways to regulate your emotions. First, consider the circumstances for a while before responding emotionally right away. Finally, learning to forgive your friend not only relieves your own mental burden but also paves the way for reconciliation. Asking yourself why your friend behaved that way can help you approach the matter more thoroughly. After reflection, the next step is to actively communicate with that friend and express your feelings honestly but without condemnation or blame. Sometimes being open and willing to listen can open the door to understanding and forgiveness. Regardless of the outcome of the conversation, it's important to set boundaries for the relationship. Here, forgiveness doesn't imply forgetting anything. Rather, it means embracing it as a part of the past and letting it not impact your future. Confronting the betrayal of close friends requires maturity and attentiveness. In addition to keeping your inner peace, you also learn how to address relationship difficulties head-on with courage and bravery. As the Stoic philosopher and Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius famously stated, you have power over your mind, not outside events. We all experience painful moments from time to time, and we want to hear about your story of facing and overcoming those moments. When you realize this, you will find strength in any situation. The secret to overcoming and growing lies in controlling and developing your own mindset. When you start by building a solid foundation within your soul, nothing can shake you. Tell us in the comments how you handled and resolved that circumstance. It will not only support others going through similar experiences but also demonstrate that you have successfully incorporated the Stoic philosophy into your life. Managing those who hurt you is a difficult but necessary skill for preserving your emotional health and personal development. A person might experience pain for a number of reasons, such as emotional manipulation, criticism, or betrayal. Your resilience and sense of calm can be greatly affected by how you handle certain circumstances. Number 5. Avoiding unnecessary materialism. In a consumer-driven society, it is easy to fall into the trap of materialism, believing that acquiring more possessions will lead to happiness and fulfillment. However, this mindset often results in clutter, debt, and a never-ending cycle of wanting more. Embracing minimalism can help break free from this cycle and focus on what truly matters. Identify needs versus wants. Differentiate between your genuine needs and superficial desires. This awareness helps you make mindful choices and avoid impulsive purchases. By focusing on what is essential, you can simplify your life and reduce unnecessary stress. If you found these insights valuable and want to continue exploring how to live a more fulfilling and balanced life, consider subscribing to our channel. By subscribing, you'll gain access to a wealth of content designed to help you navigate life's challenges, cultivate meaningful relationships, and achieve personal growth. Your support not only helps us create more quality content, but also connects you with a community of like-minded individuals striving for a better life. Don't miss out on future videos, hit that subscribe button and join us on this journey towards a more intentional and enriching life.